the other day, I had what I can only describe as like one of the most embarrassing, just trivial situations for me to fall myself into.
When you were telling me the story, I didn't realize this was recent.
It was within the last year or so.
This was like in high school or something.
No. Okay, so
I'm
Adrian,
very excited.
I'm gonna paint a picture for you.
Please
It's
do.
2018, and I'm starting to gain weight, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want to continue.
2021. This story happened about a year ago.
It does.
Let me set the scene. It's 2018.
You're like, time doesn't fucking move forward. Everybody knows that. This event did happen a year ago. I need to set this. I need to set this up.
Okay, I apologize.
So I'm just like, okay, so I start like routinely going on runs and walks, and it gets to a point where we're now in 2020, and I'm just going on a regular walk. I guess I could have at any point just been like, I go on walks, but I needed to inform everyone why.
Yeah, we needed a timestamp on when this started.
Yeah. You know what? Scratch that. I'm going on sprints.
I just love the idea of you. Absolutely. You ever played Monster Hunter? You know when they're running away from the monster, it's not just running, they're like just running with all of their body. I like to imagine you just sprinting down the street.
But anyways, so I'm going on a walk. I'm going on a slow sprint.
I like how he puts up the air quotes.
When he says walk, what are you doing?
Walking. Oh, this is a fucking train wreck of a story already. And we haven't even gotten to the train wreck of the story. So I'm walking down this road, and
I saw a train crash.
And I saw a fucking train crash. I'm walking down this road, and I am what I would describe as a friendly person. And so if someone walks by me, usually when they like I always have this thing of like, I don't want to be looking at the person right in front of me, even though it's like the only subject that I can really be looking at, especially if we're walking in opposite directions. You know, we're gonna walk by each other, because it'll just be a quarter mile of me just staring this person down, and then they walk by me like, no, now the next person.
just dogging them.
Yeah. So I'm always like, don't fucking stare at people, because like you're gonna seem like a psychopath. So what I instead do is I'll just, if they have a dog, I'll look at the dog, and then, or I'll just like wait until they're relatively close and wave hello. You know, that's just a simple like, all right.
Sure.
Now, so I'm walking down the road, and there's a group of people in front of me. They are clearly a group of people. Like it's not three separate people going on three separate walks. This is one walk, three people. But I'm hitting a bit of an issue because they are staggered.
Sorry, I need to back up. I know the end of the story, so I need to back up because I'm just giggling.
What do you mean staggered?
They are.
So it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So
4. There's like space between them.
Right.
So I'm walking along.
I mean, it's 2020, social distancing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, first person goes by, hello. They wave. They're like, all right. All right.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
Literally could not have gotten a better salutation out of that one. Second one comes up. They've heard me. Like, they've heard me say hello. I can't repeat hello because
Want to be clear. Early in the story, he did confirm not a psychopath.
Yeah, not a psychopath. So I'm like, hi. Boom. Nailed it again.
Another straight up banger.
Yeah, literally, they're just like, oh, hello. You repeated from the last person. I'll let it go by. Third person comes up. I'm out of salutations.
I can think of 6 more on the spot.
Literally, right now, I'm just like, what am I going to say? First 2 people have walked by. I've already said hi and hello. There's nothing else. But I have a Hail Mary. He's wearing a hat. and I look at this guy's hat, and I'm just like, oh, I know what I'm going to say.
What type of hat was it? Can I confirm?
Regular baseball hat.
Oh, see, even worse than what I thought. Yeah.
But in my head, I'm thinking, well, that's basically a 10-gallon hat.
See, I thought he was at least wearing a cowboy hat in this story. This is even worse.
Right, was he wearing boots?
No. It's a regular person with a non-cowboy cap.
Was it even like the Cowboys?
Nope.
No, all right.
Nope. Don't even try to pretend like this story isn't about to just completely derail and start a fireball. So I'm walking up to him, and I'm running out of time because I see him right there. But I know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the classic cowboy greeting. The only one that you can think of. The one where you
Adrian,
tip your hat.
Can you guess what the greeting would be?
Howdy.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Obviously, I'm going to say that.
Turns out you're a fucking idiot because what he actually said.
Well, here's the issue is I'm walking up to him and I'm fucking blanking on the word. Like I'm seeing his hat and I'm adding the cowboy aspect to it, and I keep in my head going parlay, and I'm like, ooh, that's not it. Parlay. That's not it. You're getting closer here, Jeremy. Parlay. What's that fucking word? And I get to it, and I dip down and go, yeehaw! And the dude looks at me like he's like, what the fuck just happened? and I'm just like, right, well, guess I'm gonna go back to that sprint. Just get out of here as fast as I physically can.
Oh god.
Oh my god. See, I can relate to like I know that's not the right word, but what's the actual word? But I've never devolved to the point where I've screamed at a pedestrian. Yeah.
Also, I'm sure hola would have been okay. I'm
Or-
sure saying nothing and waving.
I would have gone with hey.
I'm not gonna lie. Up until now, I forgot about hay. I didn't even know hay was an option.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
hey, horses, he's a cowboy.
Yeah, see?
I'm sure that
He-
somewhat ties in.
I think me literally just running and getting hit by a car would probably have been a better scenario there for him than.
Well, past that, yeehaw, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Crack Open a Cryptid. I'm Tyler Shiley.
I'm Jeremy Savage Tate.
Oh, you didn't cast Joe.
Whew.
Ugh.
Oh my god, this one's sour. What the
Clink.
fuck?
Oh, that was just me opening up a drink right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
So,
good.
the berry punch isn't bad.
It's pretty good. I don't know why, but this Mike's Hard Lemonade is just carbonated lemon juice. This shit's sour, dog.
I mean, yeah.
Wow, that's surprising.
They don't call it soft lemonade.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
They're talking about how the quality of lemon that they put in that drink. That's everybody knows that.
Everyone knows that before they squeeze the lemon, they tilt their 10-gallon hat, say hello, and then squeeze it into the bottle.
I couldn't tell, but right there it looked like you also blanked on. You were just like, they tipped their hat and what's that word?
Hayi? Is that it?
Hayi.
Sounds right to me. All right, guys.
I'm sorry, are you okay?
No, we're about to talk
I
about...
could have said bonjour.
Would that
Also-
have been better?
It is a greeting.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea.
Holy shit.
Sorry, this thing is sour. It's like
it's me.
yeah.
This is just my lemonade voice.
No, this thing is like actually just alcoholic lemon juice. Fuck.
I mean...
To be fair, what do you think lemonade is?
There's usually sugar in it.
Oh, I see. That's your
Wait,
issue.
that doesn't have, like, any sugar at all?
According to the can, it has 1 gram of sugar, which I cannot taste.
That's not a huge amount of sugar.
Well, I've also had these before because I buy these on the reg. And this one, like, I've shot straight lemon juice into my mouth before.
Mm-hmm.
This is that if I put it in the soda stream. Hold on, boys. I have an idea.
Is lemonade carbonated?
No, but
No.
there is I think it's a French beverage that's essentially carbonated. lemonade.
Yeah, it's Orangina. It's terrible. Don't try it. It's basically like gasoline that's flavored like lemon.
Dude, most of our viewership is just like IRL friends that I have. I didn't realize how invested so many of them would have gotten into that soda stream arc. But like they have asked me on multiple occasions in just like my regular life, like, hey, so how's the soda stream? I was like, fine. And I forget like the episode that just released was like so it never showed up.
Oh
How is the soda stream going?
Dude, it's dope. I use it like actually every day.
Have you tried soda streaming?
What if you just
milk
put
yet?
water in it?
You just get sparkling water.
Holy shit!
I'm surprised you didn't
Nah, I
know
couldn't
that.
figure that. What if I put water in it, but I put a pinch of lemon juice?
Then it would taste very similar to this beverage I'm drinking.
Interesting. Okay.
But no, yeah, in my constant quest to become an 80-year-old man way too early, I have the soda stream. I use it like every day. And now I have been like given fuck me eyes to air fryers lately where I'm just like, I don't really
Dude.
want an air fryer.
Air fryers are fucking pimp. Like
Air fryers are dope.
The only thing I've heard about air fryers that is like a negative is people I know who own an air fryer say, I wish I got a bigger one. And it's like, shit. I've also been like thinking about getting a dehydrator to make my own like jerky.
Sure.
Cause like, come on, that sounds like a good time.
Well, the thing I know about air fryers is that they are actually a tool where it is actually
You're a
healthier
tool.
to use an air fryer than it is to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had someone argue with me. Argue is a strong word, but they were like, why would you get an air fryer instead of just using an oven? And I'm like, well, because an air fryer air fries and the other is like a convection oven. And they were like, yeah, but like I have an oven. Why would I want an air fryer? And then someone else chimed in. They were like, my oven has a built-in air fryer. And I was like, and then they were like, yeah, so why wouldn't I just get an oven with a built-in air fryer? And I was boggled by this because it's like, well, because her name, how much was that oven with an air fryer? And she was like, oh, like $1,200. And I was like, air fryers are like $100.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm
and
honestly
also, you
shocked.
wouldn't have to remove your oven and install a new one. You just put this motherfucker on the counter.
Yeah. I'm honestly shocked that was not that expensive of an oven that she described. For like $1,200, honestly, was a much lower number than I was expecting.
I forget what the number was, but that's where I ballparked an oven at. Am I horribly off?
How much are?
I'm gonna Google
it.
It.
Is
Adrian, lead us
super
into the
dependent
episode.
on your oven.
All right. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about my greatest fear in life.
I thought we were just talking about Maya, the software.
No.
I was like, I know this.
South Park is made in that.
No, yeah, we're going to talk about
Very good.
Well, that's why it was so easy to make the Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole.
Oh, yeah, isn't it because like they already had the assets?
Yeah, they literally just made the game in Maya
Yeah.
because they already make the show in it.
Yeah.
I thought they used. Oh,
They did. They just already had the assets.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Oh, is that or
Yeah.
whatever?
No, yeah, my worst fear in life, children.
Why are you afraid of children? I could fight like 50 children if I needed to.
Not if they all ganged up on you.
Nah.
How many children do you think you could take?
How many children do you think you could take at 10? Is it 40?
What was the
Maybe like-
sentence you just said?
How many children do you think you could take at 10?
Add 10. I thought you asked how many children do you think you could take at 10? And I was like, do you have plans 2 hours from now? Like, you know what? I want to say I Googled oven with built-in air fryer. First one that came up was a Samsung one. $1,500. I wasn't that far off.
No, I didn't. I
Okay.
didn't think you were.
No, all right, so there's a very specific brand of children, black-eyed children.
Holy shit!
God, I was
Wow.
upset.
Yeah. I was like, holy fuck, dude. Maybe next time we don't put as gentle of a pause. It wasn't a huge pause, but it was enough.
It was enough to be frightened. So it's the black-eyed children, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I have heard about this.
We
but I
will
don't
now
know
be
much about
referring
them.
to them as the children with black eyes.
Still a little off.
No, all right, so this is an actual cryptid. Like, I'm calling it by its
They're
name.
the BECs.
The BECs.
Yeah.
It's an urban legend. It's usually they come in like packs of two or three.
I love that they come in packs.
Their hunting party is at least 2.
I can't get a six-pack of
Essentially.
BECs at the local like Kroger's.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, so it's these children between the ages of 6 and 16 that will just come up to your door, knock, and ask if you will let them in.
I'd say no.
Yeah, I'd say no.
Ooh, wait. Is that a trick?
Yeah. Oh wait, am I gonna turn into a furry like in Beauty and the Beast if I don't let him in?
I was very. I'm glad you finished that sentence because I didn't know where that was going.
For the record,
you're like, oh my
I'm
god.
also glad I finished that sentence.
Am I gonna turn into a furry? like that was gonna be the thing? Yeah, no. The BECs come up to your door. They say, "Can I come in?" And they're like, "Nah, but we made you a sexy wolf."
I'm like, oh god, no. Jeremy, what's your fursona? If you had to choose a fursona,
Hedgehog.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Okay.
But I like a photorealistic hedgehog where it's just like you just let your hair grow out and then spike it on the back.
I can only be on top.
Adrian, what's your fursona?
Probably a turtle.
would that not be a scaly and not a furry?
That is true.
Is that a thing?
I think it can be your fursona, but I think that makes you a scaly, not a furry.
Are there featheries?
I think there's a name for it.
I don't want to be talking like there are sometimes where we start conversations and then I'm like, wow, do I not want to be in this conversation? But I'm actively participating. Like I don't know how this happens to me.
I mean, okay, conventions are coming back. We've been talking about it for years.
I know, for years I've been trying to get a group of people to come with me to FurCon. I am not a furry. I do not know any furries. I know nothing about furry culture, and I want nothing more than to go with a group of friends to FurCon.
I am so down, Jeremy.
Please come with us to
Oh my god.
FurCon.
It's going to be we're just going to end up being like the all gas no brakes YouTube channel.
Because we have Adrian. If you come, that's a third we can have. I'm this close to convincing our friend Luis to come. Luis, I know you listen to this podcast. Come to FurCon with us, you coward.
All right, bring a camera and I'll do interviews. That's all I got to say.
I remember your interviews that you used to do. I want nothing more than to do that.
I could probably get us press passes.
What a fucking stupid idea this is. But yes.
I've never been happier.
I mean, it's going to be in the LA convention. Like,
oh my god, I'm so excited.
Is it like... Because I know that there are like XXX conventions.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Am I going to walk in and just see a bunch of people fucking in fursuits?
It's
I
not
hope
like
so.
that, no.
Okay. Damn.
Penguin, by the way, is I think my persona is.
That's a feathery.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a word for it. You know what?
Wait, would it be a feathery? Do they have feathers?
Yeah, I'm gonna open an
I have-
incognito tab.
I know nothing about penguins.
But they're
They have
like
feathers and a lot of blubber.
they're like short and dense.
Oh, okay.
So they catch air.
And I'm
Tell
tall
me
and
about
dense.
the BECs before I accidentally sign up to FurCon.
Oh, you've already signed up, man. Like
Please.
we are going. Yeah, so these children at first don't look threatening.
I don't think many children look threatening, to be honest with you.
I could take on at least 50. So unless 51 children, that looks threatening.
Yeah, so they're usually children, pale skin and like dark red, like a shark's.
It's apparently a feathery.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
They look. So I just zoned in and out between it's apparently a feathery. Did you say they look like sharks?
No, all right. So their eyes are black, like a shark.
Oh, I see.
You know?
Okay.
They'll knock at your door like at midnight or something.
Mm-hmm.
If
Waking me up.
yeah. If they don't come through your door, they will come knock at your window.
Come and
That's
knock
more
on
convenient.
our
I'm closer to my
door.
window.
That's true, yeah, especially if I'm in my bedroom.
Yeah.
There's a window in my bedroom, so.
You can afford that?
We're gonna start money bags over here. Now the problem is my bedroom. I live in an apartment on the second floor, so if they knocked on my bedroom window, I'd be far more upset.
Oh, I'm also on the second floor, but it's just more convenient that way.
You can afford 2 floors?
Who said I own the first floor?
That belongs to your cat.
Yeah.
You also have a cat?
Yeah.
I've actually never met your cat.
I have 4 cats. Oh, I have 3 cats.
Okay, hold on. How do you go from I have 4 cats?
I used to have.
cat.
I used to have 4 cats. One died last year.
Oh.
Oh, that's a sad story.
Yeah.
That's a sad
Way to
story.
bring that up.
Thought you were gonna do the George Carlin like. I had 4 cats. I still do, but I also had them before.
Mm-hmm. No, I miscounted because I was like, oh yeah, I don't have that cat anymore.
Yeah. So these children became popular around 1996 because there were 2 back-to-back sightings in Abilene, Texas. So it was written by there was a report written by one Brian Bethel. So first off, pale skin, black eyes. Another weird detail about these children is they tend to appear in very outdated clothing, like Victorian clothing or like clothing that's from like the 1950s or something like that. So no one knows where or how these creatures pop up. Conspiracy theorists believe that the black-eyed children are actually aliens trying to, reach out to us in a non-threatening manner.
Can I ask a question that might be a spoiler for your outline because
Go
I haven't
for
read
it.
it? Are these the same as the Indigo Children?
I actually don't know. What are the Indigo children?
So the Indigo Children are, or Star Children is another term used for it. It is weirdly what the was it Heavy Rain? No, not Heavy Rain. Indigo Prophecy, a weird game. It's what that was based on. The Indigo Children are children who are spliced between human and Nordic DNA, I believe, and they're supposed to be like children that were placed on Earth that are like much more aware of social issues and emotions, and they're far more creative. Basically, it's people being like, yeah, it's a bunch of Democrat kids. Literally, that's basically what it is. It's a bunch of like liberal Democrat kids, but they're supposed to like usher humanity into like a new age of prosperity. But I've seen them referred to as starry-eyed children because they have black starry eyes when they're very, very young.
What do you mean by a starry eye?
Like their eyes are black and have like, it looks like it's starry night kind of thing.
I see.
Like there's like sparkles on them.
It might be the same thing, but
Interesting.
Because although they became popular in 1996, apparently, and I've read multiple articles about the BECs, and I couldn't find any specific examples, but there have been sightings of BECs all the way back to the 1800s. Yeah. Just
That's my. Did you like my Jeremy impression right there?
Yeah. It was,
It does. It is a good impression. I don't know which one's me.
Quick, Jeremy, shoot the right one.
Yeah. So that's basically the BECs. Like it's just
episode over, huh?
Yeah, basically.
All right, see you guys next week.
All right, I'll get my Troll 2 facts.
We made the exact same joke in the last episode.
No, yeah, it's basically just children with very dark eyes that come up to your house and ask, "Can we get let in?"
Has anyone let one in?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me about that?
Yes, I could tell you about 2 examples.
I thought he was gonna be like, no.
No, I didn't look that up.
All right, so bear with me. I am reading this whilst very drunk. Yeah, so apparently in this town, this elderly couple heard the sound of 3 knocks on their door in the middle of the night. They opened the door.
I was going to do the same thing.
Oh, yeah, can we do this like a radio play?
Oh, yeah. All right, start over.
All right, so an elderly couple. They heard the sound of 3 loud knocks at their door.
Harold, what's that?
They opened the door and
It's the door, you dumb bitch.
They opened the door and found 2 children, a boy and a girl.
Harold, I found a boy and a girl, and oh my God, look at their eyes.
All right, who wants to read the dialogue?
I'll describe
where's
this
it?
as Starry if someone were to ask me.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have been the children, and then you could have been both of the. We'll start over. There's a knock at the door. Ding, ding, ding. All right.
Yeah, my
The cast iron door that.
Yeah, everyone knows when you knock on the door, it rings the doorbell 3 times.
Boy and a girl. Parents will be here soon. May we come in?
I was going to do the exact same voice, I'm not going to lie.
Wow. So the children did not.
Parents will be soon. He will be here soon. Can we come in?
That's because we're both uncreative people.
That's
just
true,
As
yeah.
in general, like we have very little value.
The children did not make eye contact and just stood there in the doorway. The elderly couple were hesitant, but after a while, they let them inside.
Come on in, Sonny and Lass.
The kids settled on the couch while the wife made some hot cocoa and the husband asked them questions that went unanswered.
Do I have dialogue for this part?
No, there
Hey, yo, kids, so what'd you think of the old ball game?
Oh, you better not tell me that you're a Yankees fan. You're out of my house.
The wife returned and noticed that their cat was scared and angry with the children.
Yeah, that I own 2 cats.
What's going on with this cat? His name's
That was very good.
Timberland.
May we please use the restroom?
That's what it was.
Oh. I haven't seen my next line, but I imagine it's
This
probably
is
yes.
the dumbest bit we have ever done on this show.
It absolutely is. I love it.
Please continue.
Here's the best part is that if we wanted to do this, someone could have told us ahead of time. But no, we decided we're recording. This is the best time to do
This
it.
is the best time to like work out the kinks in
Yeah.
this bit.
Here's the thing. I wasn't expecting this. So, anyways.
Rarely do we get dialogue.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's like, oh yeah, and then somebody thought they like a gravity well like killed all these tent guys.
I was literally thinking about that the other day with the you were like I must get out of tent. It must be relegated to merely tent. That one kills me every time, dude. Gravity phenomenon must be relocated only to tent.
All right, so kids ask, may we use the restroom? The wife looks at the kids, and she finally saw them. The children's eyes were as black as a starless universe.
Man, I love.
What a weird way to describe
you
that.
really have been reading Dune again, haven't you?
I have. I fucking love Dune. I'm on Children of Dune. Anyways,
that
What color are
description,
those children's eyes?
blue.
as blue as the sky, as if it were,
A starless universe, but during the day.
yeah, as if the atmosphere was refracting only the higher wavelengths.
The wife, yeah. So dark as the starless universe. She directed them to the bathroom and returned to her husband, who was covering his face with his hand. Did you see their eyes? The husband then showed her his hand full of blood from a nosebleed. The power suddenly went out, and the house turned as dark as the kids' eyes.
Which, as we know, due to the transitive property,
Is similar to a starless universe.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
yeah.
Yeah. The wife headed to the restroom and was confronted by the voice of the kids at the end of the hall, uttering, "Our parents are here."
This
Not
is
a fan of
fucking.
that one.
This is spooky,
Not
dude.
a fan of that one.
That is actually pretty fucking spooky.
Okay, I have a question because I
Yeah.
don't think I asked this in the beginning, and I probably should have. Where is this?
This is in Texas.
In Abilene,
Okay.
remember?
Yeah, because for some reason, up until this point, I have imagined that they are like in a log cabin at the top of a mountain, and there's nowhere else you can get to. And I was just like, why aren't you worried about the fact these kids are just by themselves on this?
You know what I was imagining?
Hmm.
Even though I was consciously aware it was in Texas, I was imagining like a borough in New York City. Like just, all the houses are like right fucking next
Right.
to each other, and then you hear sirens in the background. It's like, our parents are here.
Yeah, so
What?
What are they selling?
the kids then exited the house, leaving the door wide open. The wife then noticed that there were two men at the end of the driveway. The men were very tall and slender. The wife waved, but did not receive the same friendly gesture.
Do we know how the men were dressed?
No.
Because I'm curious if it's the men in black.
All that we know is that they were very tall and very slender. I'm assuming that they're
They're
like,
tall whites.
well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, they're very. It's power went out. Silhouettes.
Yeah,
You could tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
So I didn't get any like description on any of the articles.
I had heard of the black-eyed children, but I didn't realize they were so fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. How do you not catch a glimpse of their eyes? Like,
Like, well, I guess because they're
he said they're
children.
not looking directly at you, but here's the thing.
Well, I mean, hear me. It's like they're looking at your crotch, basically. I imagine they're looking directly forward.
Oh, I see. No, what the fuck?
Well,
how tall are you? Like,
I'm 6'1".
yeah,
bitch.
you'd be able to see someone's eyes if they were like 2 feet below you.
Jeremy, what color are my eyes?
Interesting that you're looking at your crotch in this scenario. Yeah,
Why
that,
would I
you're
look
right.
at anybody else's?
Because you're like, yeah,
Mine's
they're
the best
looking
one in the
straight. They're looking like straight ahead, and then you're like, let me imitate that. And
Yeah,
then
but it's a
barrows his head,
child.
buries his head under the sand, and it's just like, hey, what do my eyes look like? Probably sandy, if I was gonna guess.
So, anyways, the two men.
No, we're not. We're continuing with this. What the fuck you mean? That you're just like,
Why are you bullying me?
you're like, oh, they're looking straight ahead, and I was like, yeah, okay, and then you basically covered your eyes and did like this.
I was hoping I'd be like Pan's Labyrinth, and then you'd see eyes in my hand.
Yeah, and then if I did that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not letting this kid in.
So apparently the two men and children got in a car and drove away together. The power then came back on a little later after the kids left, and throughout the next week, weird things happened in the house. 3 out of the 4 cats that they had went missing, and the 4th had been found dead in a pool of its own blood.
Wow.
Yeah. The husband then continued to have nosebleeds and finally went to the doctor, where he was diagnosed with very aggressive skin cancer.
It's very weird to me how much of these events correlate with starts very alien and then becomes very demonic possession.
Yes.
that's super interesting because my initial thought was like, these are aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aliens fuck with electricity a lot. That's a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, yeah, the nosebleeds and then the dead animals and then like, but even back to aliens, the skin cancer thing, there are aliens that are supposedly radioactive kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so it's that's super weird. It's like crossing two wires of this.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing. Like at first, I thought, oh, black-eyed children, probably fucking demons or something. I don't know if they do exist.
But at first contact is very aliens.
Yes,
That's so weird.
yeah. It's extremely weird. Second encounter that happened almost simultaneously.
Oh, really? Like roughly the same day, even?
They were both written about at the same time in the same publication. So this comes from I forgot the dude's name. I didn't write. I don't know why I didn't write it down. I had it, but whatever. But
You're
this,
like, remember?
yeah.
And then Jeremy was like, I have to cancel today.
No, but like,
Hey, that was 2 weeks ago.
I need airbags because I'm a little bitch who's going to crash my car.
If anything, I was saying the opposite.
Well, you're saying that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Then you became a little bitch.
so this is actually from an interview that the reporter, that the reporter wrote. So, near as I can figure, this happened in 1996. I feel like it happened in the spring or summer. So it ended up being around the same time.
Testimony's a little shaky. Okay.
Yeah. But one of my greatest regrets is not recording the actual date of the event. After you hear the story, you'd think it would be something simple that you'd never forget. But given enough time between my memory, while it's good, it's not quite, I don't know that word, etiquette? Editic?
Let me see.
That word says the.
No, it says tahi.
Eidetic?
Is it eidetic?
I actually don't know the word either.
Point to the word.
It's okay. Yeah, I was going to try to explain where it was.
Oh, it is eidetic, yeah.
What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
You know, like the technical term for a photographic memory is an eidetic memory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyways, this guy, from his own words, I had gone down to the former site of Camelot Communications, one of the area's original internet providers, to pay my bill. At the time, Camelot was located on North 1st Street near a movie theater in the shadow of what is now Chase. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Like the bank, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
the bank. I was using the light of the theater's marquee to write on my check, which I planned to put in the Camelot's night drop slot, because apparently that was a thing before driving ATMs.
Yeah. That checks out.
Involved in my work, I never heard them approach. There was a knock on my driver's side window.
Oh, shit. So it's in his car?
Yeah, it's in his car.
Oh, this is spookier to me.
Yeah, so it's as he's using the theater light from the marquee to to write on his check to sign it or whatever.
That is spooky.
Yeah. So there was a knock on my driver's side window. 2 young boys, somewhere between 9 and 12, dressed in hooded pullovers, stood outside. I cracked the window a bit, anticipating a spiel for money, but I was immediately gripped by an incomprehensible, soul-racking fear. I had no idea why.
Also, both alien and demonic.
Yeah. A conversation ensued between one boy, a somewhat suave, olive-skinned, curly-headed young man, and myself. The other, a red-headed, pale-skinned, freckled young man, stayed in the background. The spokesman, as I've come to think of him, told me that he and his companion needed a ride. They wanted to see a movie. Mortal Kombat.
Was this the same Mortal Kombat that has the part where they teleport to like an ancient mystical forest where no man has stepped before, and then during the fight scene you can clearly see cars in the background?
That same movie.
I love that movie so much.
I don't remember that, but I also
That movie is awful.
That movie's amazing.
Yes, and awful. That's why it's amazing.
For years, it was the best video game movie ever made. Which, not saying much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted to go watch Mortal Kombat, which, it's 1996. These are two kids, 1 9, 1 12, or from the ages of 9 to 12. Yeah. So, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to go see Mortal Kombat, but they had left their money at their mother's house. Could I give them a ride? Plausible enough, but all throughout this exchange, the irrational fear continued and grew. I had no reason to be frightened of these two boys, but I was. Terribly. After a bit more conversation, I looked up at the theater marquee and down at the digital clock displayed in my car. Mortal Kombat's last show of the night had already started. By the time I could have driven the boys anywhere and back, it would have practically been over. Yeah, so like they were at the theater, they forgot their money. Can you give them a ride back to the
my mom's house? We'll get the money and come back. Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
that
I see.
yeah, okay.
That makes a lot more sense.
I thought he
what it
was like, hey, you see
Can
that?
you drive us 6 feet?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no.
And he was like, hop in. That makes sense. That's a plausible thing to ask for.
Yeah. So, by the time we go anywhere and come back, it's going to be over. It's not a long movie. All the while, the spokesman uttered assurances. It wouldn't take long. They were just two little kids. They didn't have a gun or anything. The last
you
part,
don't know that.
Yeah, the last part's a bit unnerving.
Yeah, why did you think these kids may or may not have a firearm?
Yeah. I noticed that my hand had strayed toward the lock on my door. I pulled it away.
Really?
Yeah. I pulled it away, perhaps a little too violently. In the short time I had broken the gaze of the spokesman, something had changed. My mind exploded in a vortex of all-consuming terror. Both boys stared at me with cold black eyes. The sort of eyes one sees these days on aliens or bargain basement vampires on late night television.
So their eyes weren't black until just now?
I think that he wasn't really like
registering it because it was so dark out?
Yeah. Which, fair
sure,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah. Soulless orbs, like two great swaths of starless night.
Again, with that description. So you didn't write that description.
I didn't write
these articles had that description?
Yeah, both separate events around the same town.
Had the same testimony of a starless night and a starless universe.
Yeah.
That's alien shit, dude. Like, aliens, in a lot of alien lore, they incept thoughts into your brain. They're like, I want to go outside and get a closer look. And then they abduct you, kind of thing. Or they look like a starless night. That's a common alien thing.
Mm-hmm. I did what I feel any rational person would do. I full on freaked out inside while trying to appear completely sane and calm. I apologized to the kids. I made whatever excuse came to mind, all of them designed to get me the hell out of there, fast. The aura of the fear was now palpable, a palpable, black hanging thing, almost as if reality itself was warping around me. I wrapped my hand around the gear shift, threw the car into reverse, and began to roll up the window, apologizing all the while. My fear must have been evident. The boy in the back wore a look of confusion. The spokesman banged sharply on the window as I rolled it up. His words, full of anger, echoed in my mind, even today. We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay. Let us in. I drove out the parking lot in blind fear, and I'm surprised I didn't sideswipe a car or two along the way. I stole a quick look in my rearview mirror before peeling out into the night. The boys were gone. Even if they had run, I don't believe there was any place they could have hidden from view that quickly.
Dude, I'm actually just completely gripped by this story.
Right.
This is spooky. I know I keep saying that, but fuck.
No, yeah. I've been having a lot of nightmares recently, by the way. All of them alien related.
This is weird. Jeremy, you're the biggest skeptic of all of us. What are you thinking, big guy?
Nah. Not feeling it. I think that if you're given the exact same testimony, that it's rehearsed.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair opinion.
That's fair.
Where do Ed and Lorraine Warren come in?
Nowhere, surprisingly.
Yeah, right. Well, there's nothing physical they can steal and put in their museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They steal your kid. They're like, yeah, I was a ghost.
Put him in a box.
So a couple of theories
Put
about
an Xbox in there.
What?
Yeah, they just take the kid, put him in a box, and throw an Xbox in there.
Honestly,
I thought you were talking about a box that was a box but is no longer a box, like an Xbox.
God.
Okay. All right, sure.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
So
a PlayStation apparently.
a couple of theories about the BECs have come up. So number one, they're vampires.
Oh yeah.
A couple of reasons for this. Well, I mean, black eyes, pale skin, and apparently they have to be invited in.
Right.
Yeah, the invited in thing definitely like matches. Is black eyes? Is that like vampire lore more than me, Jeremy? Is that like a common thing? I thought they just had regular eyes.
I honestly don't know. I'm sure it's dependent on the
where the lore is coming from. Yeah.
Honestly, it just reminds me of. Have you ever seen 30 Days of Night?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Well,
like that immediately comes to mind.
Also, I want to say, these are not the Indigo Children.
No,
the Indigo Children are fucking chill as hell.
Okay.
They're like, hey, can we come in? And they're like, we brought our PS5. We're gonna play on that. You want in?
It's more like, hey, we brought some arts and crafts. You in?
So vampires. Second theory, extraterrestrials.
Yeah, that's where my brain goes first. Surprising absolutely no one.
I would believe that over vampires.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, why do vampires
give
you
shit?
Cancer?
Yeah, right. And why would they give a shit about Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
I can see aliens being like, this is a documentary.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they were telling the truth about wanting to go see Mortal Kombat.
That's the part you take issue with, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, if I were an alien I heard the concept of Mortal Kombat, my interest is piqued.
Well, if I were an alien, I'd be like, now my grip on the English language isn't that great, but didn't they spell combat wrong?
I like how I was like, you were like, hey, it makes no sense that they'd want to see Mortal Kombat. And I was like, I think in the story they were lying. And you just turned to me and were just like, no shit, idiot. like I somehow was the wrong person in that scenario.
Here's the thing, Jeremy. My persona on this podcast is I cannot be wrong. Zippers cannot freeze. They definitely wanted to see Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Aliens have a higher likelihood of wanting to watch Mortal Kombat than vampires. That's a fact of life.
How is that confusing?
You literally couldn't watch Dracula movie without him being like, "Oh my god, what the fuck Dracula voice is that?" That's like Doofenshmirtz in the.
Oh my god, we were playing.
Hi, the platypus.
you were there, Jeremy. We were playing Apex last night, and someone's name in lobby was Dr. Oofenshmirtz. I like that one a lot.
Oh
God.
But Dracula, in his regular non-Transylvanian voice, was just like, "Hey, Doofenshmirtz, we're watching Mortal Kombat.
And he was like,
love this movie."
And Doofenshmirtz was like, "Pog."
Pog?
Oh. Poggy the platypus? I hate that bit.
God.
Please tell me more about the BECs.
So third theory is that they're actually interdimensional beings.
Oh, we're going Crystal Skull.
What?
Yeah.
Crystal Skull.
Were they interdimensional beings in Crystal
They
Skull?
were technically interdimensional.
They weren't aliens?
No.
Yeah, no.
I thought they were supposed to...
At the very end of the movie, they're like, they're aliens. And one guy's like, actually, they're interdimensional beings. Like, they're not from...
I sure don't remember any of that movie.
I
will say, though, there is a thing in alien lore that aliens aren't from a different planet. They're from a different dimension. Like, that is a thing, that they're crossing dimensions, and that's how they get here.
I want to... I'm going to give a hot take. I don't think Crystal Skull is that bad of a movie.
I just don't remember any of it, to be honest.
Here's the thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's actually very well made. It's just...
The ending's bad, right? I thought was the problem.
The ending's stupid. Because, like, how are we going to say that, oh, yeah, God exists, but also aliens?
I mean, you can do that.
I guess.
I was really expecting you to be like, something pedantic, and then you're just like, aliens and gods can't exist in the same
also,
location.
I have the
I've
same...
met a lot of Christians who think that, by the way.
Yeah. Also, I have the same problem with Crystal Skull as I have with Raiders, and that is, Indy kind of doesn't
do anything.
matter.
Yeah.
Like, if the bad guys just did their thing.
I know it's probably a product of the time, but at least in the first two movies, Indy, very rapey vibes. My man is putting out rapey vibes.
There's a scene in that movie, in the first movie, where they're literally like, Indy, remember when you had sex with a 15-year-old as a 32-year-old? And he's like, it's pretty pug.
Is that the actual dialogue? Oh, man, I gotta watch that movie.
Yeah, you don't remember Harrison Ford saying pog?
Marion at some point is just like last time we spoke, we had sex. I was 15, you were 32. You took advantage of me and you knew it. And he was like, you knew what you were getting into.
Wait, does that actually happen?
Yeah, that's the context of how he knows Marion in the beginning of the movie. Is that
does she say I'm 15?
Yeah.
Well, that she was.
Well, she was 15.
Wow, that was okay.
No,
I mean,
to be fair,
no.
in the context,
it was the 1920s. No.
Well, yeah.
Well, they took place in the 20s. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying, right? Yeah.
Supposedly, from the context of Spielberg and Lucas, they were like, yeah, it was meant to be not okay even then, but we were trying to give Indy a weird, like, edgy vibe to him. But it is also one of those things where it was like, didn't translate, but like,
Sure did.
it just gave him a rapey vibe.
I mean, he kills Nazis. That's pretty edgy.
Yeah.
Already.
No, that at the time that was not
and actually,
edgy.
if memory serves, well, they weren't trying to give Indy an edgy vibe. They're trying to give Marion an edgy vibe. They're
like
they're
she's promiscuous.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god,
and also an accountant.
Yeah, you can't fucking go anywhere with the Marion because like she fucks
Because she's
older,
the thought that counts.
She's
God,
the
I'm
thought.
so fucking brilliant. I'm a comedic genius.
I hate that. I should have seen that coming.
So last explanation
Oh
for the
shit!
BDCs.
I didn't. I'm so sorry. I
Don't
didn't
worry,
realize.
there's only one, and we briefly touched on it.
Is it aliens?
We already
said it.
Is it vampires?
We already said
You know,
that
it
too.
might be. It might be vampires.
If this is fucking werewolves, like
Yes,
I don't know
these
how
tiny
that's gonna work.
Dude,
but-
I forget what it was. I think it was in the Dyatlov Pass episode. But you said something like, "Is it vampires?" And Adrian was like, "Hold that thought." And we were like, "What?" And he was like, "No, I lied."
Actually, okay. So a little aside. After that Dyatlov Pass episode,
Mhm.
I ended up finding a movie, a found footage
Yes,
movie of
yes,
yeah.
I know the movie.
I forgot the name of it already.
Like a real movie or
No.
Yeah,
it's-
no, an actual movie.
They use some of the photography done in it,
Oh.
but it's mostly recreated.
Yeah, no, it's a found footage movie.
Mhm.
And guess what?
What?
It's the gravity.
No, it's fucking werewolves.
Oh,
what?
Not actual werewolves. They are experiments gone wrong.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
werewolves?
Yes.
You mean lycanthropy?
Yes. Actually,
Men who become wolves.
I guess technically mutants. Anyways,
Mutant werewolves?
So you're telling me they go to Dyatlov Pass and Cyclops from the X-Men shows up?
yes. All right.
Magneto just picked them all up and they're like, oh, the gravity.
So
That's why the zippers didn't freeze.
God damn it.
What's the last one?
I get shit about that from my actual real world friends now.
Okay, I just a quick aside. I am one of your actual real world friends,
No,
and I
you're
give
not.
you shit
No,
about
you're
that.
not.
So in that scenario, it feels like you were like, because of you.
No, but like what I mean is other than
Yeah.
you. I have people who are not on the show who just listen to it and they're like, hey, Tyler, did you know you're the biggest fucking dumbass to ever live? How could you ever believe zippers can't freeze? And I'm like, I don't know.
It sounded correct at the time. It did. I kind of suspected I was wrong, but I didn't want to immediately.
I just didn't think Jeremy would call me on it. God.
All right, hit us with that third one, or we're just gonna keep going.
Demons.
Okay.
That-
so,
yeah, that
all
makes-
right. Yeah, that checks out.
yeah, okay.
That hits home.
Like if you had said werewolves, I would have been like, wow, that doesn't make any sense.
I would have walked out.
It is fun when we get to these episodes and the explanation is something that's like, why would that be the explanation? It's like, oh well, theory, like the leading theory is that they had too much ice in the icebox, and it's like, how does that fucking solve this?
I really think we peaked at the gravitational fluctuation theory at Dyatlov.
Yeah.
Like that is the biggest curveball that we've given on this show.
So, a couple points for demons. Demonologists believe that a lot of the time demons come at humans as children.
Yes. It's a very common thread of demons appearing in possession. Because there's ghost possession, there's demon possession. It's like
Mhm.
different things in this
I've seen
bullshit
Annabelle.
world. Yeah. Well, demon possession tends to happen when a young girl first has her period. That's actually where it shows up.
I did not know
Yes,
that.
her first period usually is when the demon is like, that's my cue. Like,
we are being
genuinely.
visited by the demon Ant Flow.
Like, no, but like actually though, that is a common thread. The Enfield poltergeist was supposedly demonic possession, and it showed up right around the same time. So it's normally children from the ages of 9 to 12.
Mm-hmm. Also, black eyes, and aside from that, like, how? Why the fuck are they gonna show up in the middle of the night? I mean, it's either aliens or demons in my eyes.
Yeah, but don't
Literally the
tell
only
Jeremy that
two
they showed
options.
up at the witching hour, because he'll be like, what the fuck does that mean? The murders happened at 3:30 and he woke up at 3:30? That has no correlation whatsoever. Yes, I'm mad about Amityville still.
I don't think that it's even fair to say that that's relevant information. So
How
what? He woke
is
up
it
at
not
the he woke up
relevant?
at the witching hour. That could be any. He landed in a time like range, and you're like that same time range. Something else happened.
Look, I don't believe him either, but that is a common thread with this shit.
it feels like it's like, oh, this dude woke up between the hours of 10:30 and 3:50.
No, it's at 3 to 3:30. That is a much smaller time frame.
Nah.
That's also when the murders happen.
We don't know that.
We do from the autopsy report.
Oh, what? They looked at them and they said, that's a 3:30.
You can determine the rough time of death from a corpse.
Not that specifically.
I hate you so
Just
much.
saying it could have been like 2:30
I am
and he could have been
so-
waking up at the
you-
witching hour and he's rounding
You
it
are
up.
a very good friend, and we are very close. The moment we walk through that door, you are my worst enemy.
For some reason, I thought you meant as I was leaving, not as I was entering. So you're like, well, we do this podcast, we're friends, but when we go outside, I'm kicking your ass.
The moment we walk in that door, I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight Jeremy today.
God. All right.
So they're demon, alien, werewolf, vampires.
Demalians.
Potentially. Also from
right.
a different dimension.
Oh, they're extra dimensional demalians.
Well, hell is another dimension.
Is it?
Is this it?
I think it depends on what lore you're looking
what do
at.
you mean? Is it a physical place I can go to?
Maybe, depending on what lore you're looking at.
The Mormon lore would probably have it as a physical place. They're
Yeah,
really
I
into-
would believe that.
Yeah.
They were
I
into
mean,
planets.
you ever play Doom?
That's another dimension in Doom, though.
He's got me there. He's got me there.
All right. So, last chapter that I wrote down is Adrian's last will and testament. There's a reason for that.
Oh no. Okay.
So, the last part of this legend of this cryptid, it always states that although it is a chance encounter to come into contact with them, it is almost guaranteed that they will visit you if you actively look for and or research them.
Get fucked, dude.
Dude, fucking up top, buddy. We fucked this guy. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. You're dead.
Hold on. Read the last will. I want to know what I'm getting.
Oh, yeah. Do we get anything in Last Will and Testament?
Yeah.
Do I get Jeremy's bottle opener?
Yeah, so you're getting Jeremy's bottle opener.
Sick.
Jeremy, you are getting...
The deck of playing cards.
So
We
Jeremy,
just swapped them.
I feel like we should bring this up. Him and I discussed this like literally last night.
Okay.
We were thinking this at the time, but we're both pretty sure that you promised you'd bring him a deck of cards,
Did I?
and also the gift of the bottle or of the church key to him is directly to assist you.
Exactly.
So Jeremy didn't get anything really.
Well, more importantly,
Got something.
It wasn't.
He could use it outside of this podcast.
I mean, that is
possibly.
true. It's not like, hey, Adrian, I'm about to open a bottle. Can I use this? And he's like, yeah, it's good. But it's just funny because you were like, look, we were talking last week, and I said I'd get you this deck of cards, and I was literally looking at that. I was like, you were actually saying that to me, but okay.
Honestly, probably. Again, we record these when I'm like kind of plastered.
Yeah. To be fair,
Like
the fact that you guys remember anything is like impressive because I am often like,
Well, the
oh,
reason
God.
I remember it is because I edit these when I'm
That's
sober.
Yeah.
I don't know how Adrian remembers anything
all right,
at
so
all.
here's the thing. Like a lot of the time, like when I'm like drunk, I will remember some things that I say. Sometimes I will not remember who I said them to. Sometimes I will remember like, oh, I said something to them and they were mad at me. I don't remember what I said.
Now, normally when we record these episodes, I record mine first and then Adrian records his second, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like you probably remember more from my episodes.
I do.